UC Sports, your home for University of Hawaii sports.
Successful 8-day West Coast road trip, the 6th-ranked Hawaii Beach volleyball team looks to round out the final 2 weeks of the regular season on its home court. Beach Bows head coach Jeff Hall hopes to defend the Big West Conference Championship at the end of the month, but first he's got to get by the impending waves of Pepperdine. Coming up, the final 2 flights of a duel between the Pepperdine Waves and the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. And a very pleasant good evening from the beach volleyball courts on the campus of the University of Hawaii, where it is senior night tonight as the number 6 Rainbow Wahine take on number 2 Pepperdine. Hi everybody, Scott Robbs, Lisa Strand, and this has been a rivalry for the last couple of years that's been pretty one-sided, including meeting each other twice in the last week, where Pepperdine has won 3-2.
That's right. These two teams have battled it out in the last 10 days. They've went at it twice, and Pepperdine has come on top in both of those head-to-head matches, 3-2. And tonight, look out for the Rainbow Wahine because they are on a mission.
Absolutely. You always want to win on senior night. What are the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match tonight?
Well, tonight for the Rainbow Wahine, we say third time is a charm, and especially they have the advantage of playing here on their beautiful home court. So let's just say the third time is going to be a charm. And as far as for Pepperdine, they just got to keep on keeping on. These Waves have been on a tear. They're 17-1 currently. They're ranked 2 in the nation, and they are looking forward to getting into the national championships this year.
Alrighty, Hawaii's already beaten Cal Poly. Can they beat Pepperdine here this evening? We'll find out. But first, let's go sandside to our third reporter, Ryan Kalesuji.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Well, I just talked to head coach Jeff Hall, and he says that this matchup against the Waves is a very important matchup, not only for Hawaii in this regular season, but moving on to the postseason. Following this, Hawaii will play a match against St. Mary's, and then they'll also be playing in the Big West Conference tournament, saying that this match can help to provide the confidence Hawaii needs heading into that tournament. Now, he also said that the partnership between Ka'ivi and Nikki is a strong one, and he says that these two are some of the best players, not only here on this team, but in the nation. He says if these two can get on a run and get confidence in the number 2, he likes their chances moving forward. Now, here in Manoa on the beach, beautiful beach conditions, 77 degrees, and a great crowd here at Manoa. We'll continue to give you updates from the sand throughout the match. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Let's take a look now at the Hawaiian Tel FCU starting lineup. We'll start with the number 5 flight. It's best 3 out of 5. Number 5 flight, there you see the starters and their records on the season. Ozi Zalapani 2-3 here in 2017. Flight number 4 starters, that's going to be a great matchup. As you see the records there, 22-3 for the Bows, 16-3 for the Waves pair. In flight number 3, Emily Maglio and Laura Weaver, they've been having an all-American season. They're 22-3 on the year, but Caputo and Dyer not too shabby themselves at 16-3. And flight number 2, which will be coming up momentarily, Ka'ivi Schucht and Nikki Taylor, 19-6. Howard Quiggle are 18-1 on the year. And a little bit later on, to cap off the evening, the flight 1 starters, Martin and Tucker versus Knudsen and Rowe. So there you see the 5 flights that are taking place here at the University of Hawaii, and a nice crowd on hand as well here on senior night. There you see some of the fans in attendance, but this is a big match for the University of Hawaii, particularly when you look at possible at large for the NCAA tournament should Hawaii not win the Big West Conference tournament in a couple of weeks.
Exactly, and Hawaii on that mainland trip actually lost to Long Beach State, which allowed Long Beach State in their league to jump up ahead of them, ranked number 5, and Hawaii currently number 6.
All right, let's take a look now at the series record. It is sponsored by Aston Hotels and Resorts. As we mentioned, pretty one-sided. Pepperdine leads the all-time series 9-1, including A heartbreaker yesterday, the Waves winning 3 of the 5 matches. So Hawaii looking to finally make a third time a charm. You've mentioned that a couple of times as kind of your mantra this evening. And that's because last weekend on the road, Hawaii lost also 3-2.
Well, you know, sometimes when you lose, you figure out ways how you can win. And I think Hawaii is really doing that. They're being coached very well. They're looking at different options, mixing things up. And sometimes, I don't know where that 3 times is a charm comes from, but it may just happen, especially, again, playing in these conditions on their home court, senior night here at the Shin Complex.
All right, we're about ready for some beach volleyball action as you take a look at Jeff Hall in his 3rd season as the head coach of the Beach Bows. I know they go by Sand Bows, but now they go back and they're calling it beach volleyball. I think they should be the Beach Bows and not the Sand Bows. What do you think?
Let's just change it over already. It's no longer called sand volleyball. It's been legally changed to beach volleyball.
All righty, Brittany Howard, Corinne, Quiggle for Pepperdine, Nikki Taylor, Schucht for the University of Hawaii. The Waves will serve to begin this opening set. They play the 21, best 2 out of 3, and we're underway. Schucht over on the left side, goes cross court and gets it to fall down. Good start for the Bows here in this second flight.
And what you're going to see is they're going to continue to go after Schucht being the smaller of the 2 players and make her, Nikki Taylor, set her and her side out.
Now these 2 teams did play each other yesterday. And there's the Waves winning 21-18, 21-16. Schucht tries to find the open space, and she does get it down off the big attempt of Quiggle.
Schucht's very, very crafty. She sits, she plays great defense, and she sees the court extremely well. She slices and dices and moves the ball around.
Schucht, a junior of Escondido, California, listed at 5'9". Bump to Howard. Howard dug up by Schucht in the back row. Back over to her. She rolls across court, gets it down. Nice job again by Schucht.
And there you see again, Nikki Taylor putting up a nice set, and Schucht hitting from the right side this time and doing what we call a little cut shot around the big block of Brittany Howard.
Now Schucht is from Escondido, but her family is from Hawaii. Her father originally from Waianae, her mom from Molokai. Her father was in the military, and that's how she ended up from Escondido. Here come the Waves. Quiggle dug up. Taylor on the first contact will hit it, kept alive, bumped over, nice save by Quiggle. Schucht to Nikki Taylor. Taylor rolls it over. Quiggle there to save it. Howard pushes it into the back row, but it goes wide and out of bounds.
And a great rally by both sides. What you might start seeing again is more opportunities to place the ball over on 2. It breaks up the play a little bit, and as the players continue to get more fatigued, you'll see that.
And there's going to be an ace with the assistant of the tape. A piece of the tape on the serve, fell down.
And that let serve, I'll tell you, that's a very hard serve to get when it tickles the top of the tape.
Hawaii 5-0 over Pepperdine. Howard waits, kind of frees it over. Here come the Rainbow Wahine. Schucht up close. It's an overpass, and Howard will make her pay. Now, Brittany Howard, if that name sounds familiar, she was a very decorated indoor player at Stanford. She's a grad transfer to Pepperdine this year out of Mountain View, California. Big 6'3" player for the Waves. Off the block.
And again, Katy doing a nice job seeing the court. Nikki Taylor putting up a perfect set for her, keeping her off the net just enough so that she can take a look and utilize hitting around or over the block.
UH Athletics reaches out to you online each week with updates and promotions through its H-Mail e-newsletter. To register, visit hawaiiathletics.com, click on the H-Mail button. It's simple, and Lisa, the best part, it's free. There aren't very many free things in life anymore, are there?
There are not.
H-Mail is free. So they switch over at the 7-point mark, and the service error by Nikki Taylor. Taylor and Schucht 19-6 on the year. Of course, Nikki Taylor, the all-time leader in dual wins for the University of Hawaii. Bumps it up on the left side, backpedaling one hand, saved by Howard. Back over to Howard, she rolls it over, dug up by Schucht. Schucht will take it, pokies it to the right and down.
And they are just playing very consistent, good volleyball, very confident, taking control of that first pass. And Nikki Taylor again setting shut, and she's just moving it around. Short, deep, short, deep.
If you're the Hawaii duo right now, you couldn't ask for a better start than what we're seeing here this evening.
That's right. Very interestingly enough, they're going after Brittany Howard. They're serving her. She is the big player on the opposite side of the net. They're really forcing her to pass first.
And there you see Nina Mathis, a longtime indoor coach, coached over 30 years for the Pepperdine women indoor. This is her 6th season with the beach program, and she's one of the best.
She is. She's been a player herself. She's coached numerous All-Americans. She's been the WCC. She's the WCC winningest coach of all time.
All right, time now for the Jack fact, which is Hawaii senior Nikki Taylor is seeking her 99th pairs win of her beach career. And talking about head coach Nina Mathis looking to reach 100 career victories as the Waves beach coach. So a couple of milestones possibly could be made here on the beach, or actually here on the sand at the beach courts at the Clarence T.C. Ching complex. So Hawaii off to a quick start, 8-2 in front of one of the bigger crowds we've seen in the last couple of years. Of course, senior night brings in a lot of people, but a lot of families here from Pepperdine made the trek as well.
That's right, a lot of families. Brittany Howard's parents both came. Eileen Dempster, she played at UOP, and her dad as well.
All right, let's take a look at the first 2 times these teams played. On the 29th of March at Zuma Beach, there you see Hawaii falling to Howard and Quiggle 15-9 in the 3rd. And then just last night here at the Ching complex, it was all Howard and Quiggle 21-18, 21-16. So I'm sure that sticks in the back of the mind of Nikki Taylor and Kaiwi Schucht, knowing that, you know, they've fallen to this team and they have really struggled. For more, let's go down onto the sand to Ryan Kalei-Suji.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Well, a lot of confidence here on the Hawaii sideline. Head coach Jeff Hall telling his team they're doing exactly what they wanted to do. He's also suggesting that Hawaii should maybe look at switching up some of the blocking assignments, and that's specifically for Nikki Taylor and deciding what she's going to block, be it line or cross court. So look for Hawaii to do a little bit more switches in their blocking schemes. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.
Well, interestingly enough, these two teams have met each other because they're both playing in this #2 position. They're ranked #2. And so they've seen each other enough to make adjustments. And Pepperdine has come out on top in both of their meetups so far.
Big swing that goes way long and out of bounds.
And Howard's struggling just a little bit offensively. She's, you know, maybe feeling a little bit picked on. I'm really not sure. Look to Quiggle to possibly go over on 2.
That's going to be an overpass, and Nikki Taylor smacks it off the hands of Quiggle. Everything going the way of Hawaii in this opening stanza.
And you got to give Kaiwi a lot of credit. She's serving deep to the left of Brittany Howard, and Howard just really struggling taking care of that first contact.
Line drive serve into the net. Well, Brittany Howard comes from strong athletic genes. Her father was a basketball player at St. Mary's and then over at the University of Pacific. And I'm sure you played against her mom, Eileen. She was a 3-time All-American middle at the University of Pacific in the early 80s.
And her brother played indoor volleyball at Princeton as well.
Schucht off the block, kept it alive. Freed over, here's Hawaii. Bumped up near the net for Taylor. Where will Taylor go? Cross court, gets it down.
And Hawaii doing a great job just sending that ball deep into the corners and communicating. They're playing a lot more efficient than I saw them yesterday playing.
And they look a lot more efficient than the last time we saw them on OC Sports against Nebraska. But this is the time of year where you want to start getting to where you're getting ready for the postseason. Big West Conference tournament coming up, and then hopefully the NCAAs down in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
That's right, and when you really think about it, Nikki Taylor, this is her last hurrah. She feels like she's been around forever. 4 years indoors and 4 years outdoors, 2-time All-American on the beach.
You'd have to think she's probably one of the most decorated volleyball players in Hawaii history when you combine the indoor with the beach. Here come the Waves, bumped up near the net, poke it over. There's Schucht to dig it up, and Schucht will poke it over. One-hand save by Quiggle. Will Quiggle be able to take care of it? No, there's Schucht. Back over to Kaiwi. Kaiwi looks for the back corner. Nice save by Quiggle. Quiggle, where will she go? Dug up by Taylor. Back over to Nikki. Here comes Taylor to her right. One-hand dig, overpass. Schucht will keep it alive. Bumped up right side. pushed over. Here come the Waves. Nice rally so far. Up near the net, and Howard will terminate it in the back row. So the long rally goes the way of the Waves.
Well, Brittany Howard doing a nice job. She's 8th in all-time kills at Stanford. At 6'3", she's a tall, tall player and doing a great job on that last rally, ending it.
Still 6-point advantage for UH. That serve goes deep.
And there is just enough bit of a breeze coming off of the Manoa, off of the mountain, that they're aiming for that back corner box.
You know, one thing also, a lot of energy at this beach complex tonight. Part of it probably because back behind us you have the Relay for Life, so there's a lot of students and a lot of activities going on the football field. And a lot of activity going on here at the beach courts. And there you go, you see the people that are involved, and this goes all night long, I understand.
It's a great opportunity for people to get out and support the Cancer Society.
There's a nice kill by Brittany Howard. Schucht tried to dig it up, could not.
Brittany Howard struggling a little bit earlier, maybe just getting into this now, a little bit of a late start, but she can really annihilate that ball. And Nikki Taylor may have to make some adjustments, like Ryan Kalei-Suji was sharing, on the blocking schemes.
Right down the middle of the court, shanked a bit by Taylor. Schucht back over to Taylor. Will Taylor do so? Take a big swing at it off the dig and out of bounds.
Pepperdine trying to go after Nikki Taylor now, because after Kaiwi Schucht doing such a nice job siding out, they figured we got to switch this up a little bit.
You know, one thing about Taylor and Schucht, they have some experience even last year playing with one another. They were 7-4 as a pair. So they had a lot of experience. There's a nice play by Taylor. Dug up, pushed over, and down by Howard. Alrighty, so Hawaii leads it by 7. We'll have more from Manoa.
Rainbow Wahine Beach Volleyball on OC Sports is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, Kaiser Permanente, and Island Air.
Taylor and Schucht of Hawaii leading 14-7 over Howard and Quiggle. And there goes Schucht, dug up by Quiggle. Howard bumps it back to Quiggle. Quiggle rolls it over the top and down behind Nikki Taylor. Let's go down to our Sand reporter, Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan?
Well, during that last timeout, the Pepperdine coaching staff specifically talking about their serves. They want to put the pressure on Hawaii and saying they need to target more of the middle of the court rather than serving directly to players. They're also saying they have to clean up their first contact, which means passes like that dig, as well as on serve receive. Back up to you.
And there you see Quiggle getting a little assistant from the net. Rolls and falls down on the Hawaii side. So it's 9 serving 14 here in the opener.
Quiggle, the 5'10" junior out of Florida, doing a nice job on defense. First, you got to get that ball in order to make something happen.
Quiggle was part of the third flight a year ago for Pepperdine. Nice save by Quiggle. Bump back to her. She goes cross court. Does it get in? It does.
The one thing about Pepperdine is that they are coached so extremely well. Their timeouts are used very efficiently. They look at what's going on in the court. Assistant coach has been coaching Carrie Walsh and Misty May Trainer in the Olympics in 2012.
That's not too shabby, huh?
Yeah, and he's currently coaching them again.
By the way, everybody realizes that Dave Shoji has retired as the indoor coach for Rainbow Wahine Volleyball after 42 years. They're going to have a special Dave Shoji Aloha Ball retirement celebration on May 21st at the Stan Sheriff Center. There are VIP tables available, which include a special VIP reception before the event begins, where you can enjoy a sushi bar from Superb Sushi, a food station featuring Chef Sam Choi, a special Chinatown treat, and hosted beer and wine bar, or you can just buy a general admission reserve seat. I believe they're $42. Get it? $42 because of 42 years, right? And look for an announcement from UH Athletics for general admission pricing and when tickets will go on sale. I think they go on sale on the 17th, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. And all proceeds will benefit the Rainbow Wahine Volleyball Program and the newly established Dave and Mary Shoji Scholarship Endowment Fund. Terrific.
Terrific. And if we hear correctly, it's going to be a roast.
Yes, I understand that it will be a roast. There'll be some great live local entertainment. It should be a lot of fun. And we understand Dave is really enjoying retirement. He went all the way to Augusta, Georgia, took in a couple of rounds of the Masters.
And he said it was absolutely beautiful.
Well, anybody who knows Dave knows that Dave and golf go together like peanut butter and jelly.
That's right. I wanted to get back to Marco Ciccoli, the assistant coach for Pepperdine. I wanted to correct myself. He's currently coaching April Walsh and Carrie Walsh-Jennings for the next Olympics.
And there's a point for the Rainbow Wahine coming after the timeout in which the Waves were on a 3-0 scoring run. So now 15-10 Hawaii. You have to win by 2. You have to get to 21 first and then win by 2. Hawaii trying to snap a long time losing streak to these Waves. Howard crushes it, but there's Schucht with the big dig up. Can Schucht finish it? She cannot as she hits it into the net.
Howard, she's so frustrated with herself. Incredible dig by Ka'ivi. Just dropped her elbow a little bit, really went all out to attack, very aggressive to the net.
That serve lands just in front of the end line.
And that's what the coaching staff was telling them, to go more for the middle of the court, not right at the player, but add a little confusion.
Hawaii's dominated this set, but all of a sudden you look up, it's only a 3-point lead. Schucht goes down the left side, hits it wide, and another point for Pepperdine. And now the two sides will switch.
So one of the things in sand volleyball, or beach volleyball as we established earlier, is that the teams switch sides on multiplications of 7. The other thing that you need to notice is that you cannot take the first contact overhand. There are no open hand dinks, and they play to 21.
So they switch sides, and now Pepperdine will be serving into the wind as it typically blows down from Manoa Valley, the trades. Not a really windy evening. Pretty comfortable out here. Hawaii really needs a point right here. Schucht will push it to her right, attempting to dive and dig it up as Quiggle, but she cannot. And that was a very much needed digit on the scoreboard for the Rainbow Wahine.
And again, really consistent setting by Nikki Taylor tonight, really giving Ka'ivi nice sets, keeping her off the net just enough so Ka'ivi can take a look and then take a swing.
There's a rip of a serve, handled nicely. Howard to Quiggle. Where will Quiggle go? Right to Schucht. Taylor, Schucht, cuts it to the left and down.
Ka'ivi again, seeing that huge block and that cutty shot just from right to left, doing a fabulous job.
So Hawaii trying to get a little bit more separation now late in this first set. There's the service error.
And that's, that's what you get when you go aggressive. That's their 3rd service error in this game so far.
But you're okay with them being aggressive, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. You want her to be aggressive going for it.
That float serve floats long. Hawaii's never trailed in this first set. Trying to avenge yesterday's loss to this pair from Pepperdine. Serve cross court. Howard will get the swing. What will she do? Off the hands of Taylor and down.
And one of the things that the big girls do really, really well is they approach to the ball hard, and then when they mix it up, notice Howard swung harder the last few hits. This time she took something off.
Well, you always talk about a big matched up with a little, if you will. Taylor 6'4", Schucht listed at 5'9". You look at Howard 6'3", and Quiggle at 5'10", and there's a little B. I was wondering what Nikki was doing, bringing it over to the sideline. Here comes
Dangers of
Schucht.
the outside world.
And on the comeback, she punches it over and down into the back row.
Ka'ivi playing with a lot of emotion tonight, really fired up, very confident, encouraging Nikki Taylor.
Taylor with the jump serve, cranks it over. Howard receives it. Quiggle back to Howard. Howard cross-court money. And now the two sides will switch around. Hawaii 2 points away as we take another look at that one, Lisa. That was all power.
That was all power. Howard really getting a great set from Quiggle. setting the hitting arm, looking like she's going to go line, and this drills it down right in front of Kaiwi.
So Howard will serve. There you see 6 kills on the night. Far left side. She goes back, floats it over. Schucht. Back row on the line, yes.
And it's got to make you wonder, when do you start mixing it up? Because Kaiwi has, I believe, only hit 1 ball out so far. She's siding out very well, and she's moving the ball around, really holding the defense.
Perfect, right on that tape. Set point for Hawaii. Pokeyed over and down nicely by Quiggle. And the Waves stay alive here in this first set. Flight number 2 after this one's power. We'll have the main event, the top flights for both teams. Quiggle. Nice receive by Schucht. Taylor bumps it back to Schucht. Schucht pokes it into the back row where nobody's at. And it lands inbounds, and the Rainbow Wahine of Taylor and Schucht win the opening set by the score of 21-17. We'll have more when we return. And we're back here in Manoa at the beach volleyball courts at the Clarence TC Ching Complex. There you see a number of the fans on hand here for senior night. Hawaii taking on Pepperdine. And the Waves have really owned this series. Hawaii's only beaten the Waves 1 time ever. Trying to make it 2 here this evening. And Taylor Schucht won the opening set by the score of 21-17. And they take the early lead here in the second.
And you know, you're going to look to Pepperdine to make some changes, and they just did it. They may go after Nikki Taylor. Kaiwi Schucht with 11 kills in that first set.
Yeah, she was terrific in that opening set. Schucht will serve Howard the high pass. Quiggle bumps it back to her, pushes it over, but they're Schucht in the back row to dig it up. Will Schucht be able to close it out? The cut shot is money.
And I almost have to think that Brittany Howard is blocking too much. Let her go ahead and swing. Drop back and let Kaiwi Schucht have to swing, and then you don't leave a one-on-one defender.
This is a Pepperdine team ranked number 2 in the country. 17-1 coming into this set. There's a nice dig. Schucht pushes it over, diving dig. Can Howard keep it alive? She cannot. And another quick start for Hawaii, just like what we saw in the opening set. Hawaii was up 5-0.
Well, it's kind of critical, you know. They are just getting out of the box early. They're moving the ball around, and they're playing a lot better. Again, yesterday I sat and watched their matches, and they made a lot of unforced errors. So I think sometimes when you do that, you realize, you know what, I don't want to play like that. I want to get better, and I want to have a victory. They're very hungry.
So Hawaii now will take a seat as Pepperdine calls timeout. Now, the interesting thing of beach volleyball is the players call the timeout, but let's take a look at some Kaiwi Schucht highlights.
Kaiwi slicing and dicing, again, working around the big block that she has up there with Brittany Howard, leaving her defender by herself. Kaiwi going from the right side, from the left side. She's hitting short, she's hitting deep. She just has Pepperdine moving all over the place.
And you can see how they look very comfortable with one another, that being Taylor and Schucht. You can see that they've played a lot of matches with each other, and so they kind of know what one or the other is going to do.
Well, that's a huge benefit. You know, when you play with somebody, the more you play with them, the more consistent you become. Not only that, it's a lot about the chemistry. Do you have good chemistry? Do you have good energy together? That's also a huge part of the partnerships and the pairings.
So both teams will return to the sand. But getting back to talking about Pepperdine, they're 17-1 on the year. Their only loss came in the opening weekend when they split a pair with number 1 USC.
And USC just won their 99th in a row, so they have been pretty untouchable.
And there's going to be a block for Howard. Came back, popped up momentarily by Taylor.
And that was a quick reaction by Brittany Howard at the net to turn and block Nikki Taylor. She saw that immediately, and Taylor didn't see her.
Bumped up to Taylor. Taylor goes down the right side on the tape. It's good. Hawaii's been really good at that tonight, getting the ball to land on the tape.
Yeah, well, that's part of the home court advantage. You start knowing your courts pretty well. When you play here, you work out here daily, you really do have that home court advantage.
4-1, Hawaii leads. Jump serve by Taylor. Shanked a bit. Quiggle will bump it up near the net. Backpedaling is Taylor. She digs it up, bumped up, back to Nikki. Tries to roll it over, pushed over, dug up by Schucht, kept alive by Taylor. Schucht down the left side, and she gets it to fall. And everything going the way of the Rainbow Wahine in this Flight 2 matchup. 15th kill for Schucht. Taylor again. Serves it over. On the second touch, pushed over. Hawaii on the offensive. Off the hands, pushed over by Howard. Bumped up to Schucht. Schucht will push it over. Then knocked into the back row. Good job by Quiggle on first contact. Seeing the players bunched up towards the front. Just pushed it over into the back row where nobody was at.
And Quiggle, that's, you know, her mom was a tennis player, so maybe she got that from her mom. You see the spot, you take it. Nobody ever said you have to play 3 contacts in beach volleyball. Right. And oftentimes when you break that 1, 2, 3 momentum, I call it the tea party, if you break that up, you really do find the defendants off guard.
Well, Quiggle's a pretty smart player, scholar athlete out of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Nice save by Quiggle, but it overpasses and goes out of bounds.
And the Waves struggling, saying that was in, pointing at the line, but the ref immediately flagging that ball out.
And Schucht will go back and serve for Hawaii. Into the net, that serve goes.
Schucht really going after that deep cross court. Again, keeping all their serves on Brittany Howard right now.
Schucht a year ago, second team All Big West Conference, was paired mainly with Hannah Rooks. There comes Howard. Nice swing, dug up, overpass, out of bounds.
Evie doing a nice job again. I feel like Pepperdine should not block her as much. Let her just swing away and play some defense. It's one of the things when you have bigger players, they tend to want to block all the time.
Here comes the senior Taylor. It's going to be overpass, poked over, saved by the Waves. Bumped up to Quiggle. Quiggle looks for the opening and finds it.
Quiggle played in the number 3 spot last year, and she went 20-4. And as a freshman, she played in the number 5 spot. So she just has continued as she's aged to move up for Pepperdine.
Quiggle says when she's not playing volleyball, she likes to go surfing. I wonder if she's got a chance this weekend to do any surfing. They've been playing a lot of volleyball, though. I doubt it, huh?
I really doubt it. They have been at these courts. I want to say this morning they came here maybe at 11 o'clock today.
Taylor, Quiggle. Quiggle gets it down.
And again, I'll bring up the point. Nikki Taylor blocking a lot on a smaller player, may need to drop. In other words, pull off the net, not block so often on the smaller players.
Nikki Taylor. Schucht sees the players retreating and then takes advantage and just pushes it over and down in front of them.
And that's a great play. Brittany Howard pulls and Schucht sees her immediately and actually drops the ball right there in the middle front.
So they were kind of doing what you said. You know, yes. Don't try to block, move back and let her hit the ball. But she was smarter than them that time.
Exactly.
There's a little cut shot by Quiggle. And the 2 teams will switch sides. Hawaii won the opening set 21-17. This one a little bit closer so far at 8-6. Get a good look at Jeff Hall and Nikki Taylor. And let's take a look at that little cut shot. That's a nice one.
And what you notice about the cut shot, it's got a little bit more top spin on it, so it goes down a little bit quicker. One of the great things about sand volleyball is that you have power and you have finesse. So you have both things going on. And that's why there are a lot of teams that play big, little. But there's also a lot of teams that play with the 5-9, 5-9 and do what they call split blocking.
There's an attempted save by Quiggle. And the kill goes to Schucht. You know, this is a busy weekend. This is all the other UH sports are on the West Coast. You have volleyball in Los Angeles, baseball at Cal Poly, and softball at CSUN. Beach volleyball team has the lower campus to themselves this weekend. Taylor with the jump serve. That's a nice serve. Howard take a whack at it. Dug up by Schucht. Schucht will try to finish it, pokes it to the right. Nice diving dig by Quiggle, hit over on the second contact. Here comes UH, Taylor, and she hits it too hard and too far.
Got just a little bit antsy and a little under that ball, going for that deep corner, what is called the one box, indoors anyways, if you have a reference point.
Well, we're talking about the teams on the West Coast for Hawaii. There you see men's volleyball. They won again tonight in 4. That really should be 41-39 in the first set. But Hawaii sweeps UCLA this weekend in Los Angeles, so they'll be home next Saturday. Baseball won the opener against Cal Poly 11-1 behind 18 hits, but they took a real thumping in the second game, 15-5. And for softball, it was not a good weekend at CSUN. They lost yesterday, and they lost both games of a doubleheader today, 5-2 and 3-2. They'll be back home against, I believe it's UC Davis next Friday. And there's a nice left-handed put down by Nikki Taylor.
And you know, that's some really great transition ball. Nikki Taylor dropping off the net, controlling her first contacts, and seeing the court so well on that play.
So an 11-7 Hawaii lead. That serve floats over. Second contact hit is good by Quiggle.
Quiggle, seeing that her partner's down on the ground, struggling a little bit, decides to take it over on 2.
Howard serving 8-11.
So even though this is regarded as senior night, there will be at least one more matchup here at the campus. There's a put down by Taylor. They'll play St. Mary's, right? Is it next weekend?
That's right, next weekend. Yes.
They'll play one at Queens and one here.
But they're celebrating the seniors tonight.
Yeah, because that was kind of a late add-on earlier this week. Taylor serves that one under the net.
That's one she wants to put behind her.
Yes, she does. She'll have some time. We'll take a break. 12-9. Hawaii leads in the second.
Welcome back here to Manoa, where Hawaii's up 12-9 over the Waves. We are joined with some of the pioneers of beach volleyball right here on the Manoa campus, Larissa Nordyke, Elizabeth Kai, who is Stoltzman. You guys played sort of in the very beginning, in the infancy of this sport. What is the biggest difference now, Larissa, from when you started playing this sport for the Rainbows to what it is now?
Everything. Everything's changed. The biggest difference is the number of girls, the caliber of play. These girls are so good. They're better than we were.
And a little bit nicer facility to add that too. Elizabeth, you were one of the few players that had the opportunity to play both indoor and outdoor. What if you had to choose, which one would you choose?
I would choose beach. Beach is awesome, and we get to watch these awesome girls tonight, and they're playing so well. So beach.
Well, best of thank you so much for catching up with us. We'll send it back to you, Scott.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. And you got to see Nikki Taylor get another kill for Hawaii. Wahine won the opening set 21-17, lead 13-9 here in the second, trying to avenge yesterday's loss, and there'll be an ace for Schucht.
And I'll tell you what, Baby Schucht is on her game tonight. She's serving well, she's leading all players in kills and digs.
Yeah, she looks really sharp out there tonight. Close that one cross court, bumped up to Howard. Howard cranks it cross court and down.
Howard, when she swings hard, tends to hit cross court almost every time.
Played 3 years of beach volleyball at Stanford.
That's right, and she decided she wanted to be challenged a little bit more, so she contacted the coaching staff at Pepperdine. She also contacted the coaching staff at Hawaii.
And she was recruited out of high school by Hawaii for indoor volleyball, but chose Stanford.
That's right. She's getting her master's degree down at Pepperdine.
How's that? You got your undergraduate from Stanford and you'll get your master's from Pepperdine? She's got to be one bright cookie, that's for sure.
That is for sure.
Crank serve goes just a tad too far off the right hand of Taylor, who got a little sand in the face as well. That happens occasionally, doesn't it?
The key is you have to spank the ball off before. You see the players doing it all the time. They get the sand off before they serve.
Taylor with a two-hand set for Schucht. Kept alive by Howard. Here comes Quiggle. Nice diving dig on the second contact. Taylor blocks, saved by Schucht. Back over to Kaivi, rolls it into the back row. One hand saved by Quiggle. Taylor keeps it alive. Excuse me, Howard keeps it alive, but that's it.
And you've got to give both teams some serious credit for the defense that they're playing, running around and scrambling, shooting balls deep into the corners and pockets, and chasing every ball down no matter what.
Well, with a little separation here in the second, 16 to 11. Howard hits it hard, dug up, giving chase Taylor, and she can't get there. That's gotta be hard. You're running as hard as you can, but it doesn't feel like it because you're running in sand.
Exactly. And you're at the net blocking. You have to turn from the net, and she's actually all the way to the end line, sprinting to try to chase that ball down. Some serious cardio needed out here.
And she's not even breathing hard.
You don't think so, huh?
Not she. As much volleyball as she plays, holy cow.
This is true. This is true. I'll tell you the benefit is they're playing in this unreal conditions. They know they don't have the heat of the day that earlier teams played in.
Well, they played in it earlier today against Cal Poly, right?
Yes, they did in the morning. They did.
Rolls it over the top of Howard. That's shut again. Wahine getting closer to the win.
They have been in the driver's seat.
I still find it amazing that Nikki is playing beach volleyball. We were in Minneapolis when she broke that left foot and had some other, I think, ligament damage as well. And that was in the first week of December. And she was able to come back at the start of the beach volleyball season. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think, she had shared she thought she won it, but I think she realized how much she truly enjoyed it and that this was her opportunity just to finish strong. And believe me, the team is happy that she's come back.
No question. Pokey to the right and down between both Howard and Quiggle. And the Wahine can feel it.
And I'll tell you what, that's 21 kills tonight for that young lady, Kaivi. Keep in mind, the kill doesn't have to be straight down, and she has not hit a lot of straight down balls.
And she gets the ace off the net.
Maybe she's in the UC state. We call that the unconscious state. Whatever she does.
We don't want her to become conscious yet. Not till Hawaii reaches 21, and they're close to it. Howard rolls it over. There's Schucht, diving dig. Pops back up, rolls it over. Howard, Quiggle to the right. Does she get it in? She does, the line judge says.
And Quiggle doing a nice job on transition, calling off her ball. And again, she's the smaller of the two, doing a nice job moving the ball around.
Hawaii 2 points away from the win. Won the opener 21-17. Serve gets over, and that's off the hands and out of bounds of Schucht. So that'll be an ace for Howard.
And that is, I think, the first passing error by Schucht that we've seen so far this evening.
You know what's amazing? Taylor and Schucht have not trailed or been tied, I think, this entire match.
They haven't.
They won from led from start to finish in the first set. And now they're kind of falling apart a bit, though, as we start praising them. And all of a sudden you look, and it's a pretty close ball game.
It's a close ball game, and it's a side change. And one of the other rules here in sand volleyball is that the coaches are not allowed to call the timeout.
Right. Why is that, though? I don't understand why coaches can't do that.
Well, I'm not exactly sure why, but I actually like that rule because it makes the players realize and engage themselves to decide when to call a timeout or when not. Also, the coaches are not allowed to coach from the sidelines until there is a timeout and/or a side change.
Well, after this one's POW, we'll have a couple of minutes between Flight 2, and then we'll get to see Flight 1, the top players or top dual teams for both Pepperdine and Hawaii.
And they are warming up on the adjacent court over there in the far distance.
There you see some more of the fans. A lot of people on hand here. And such a relaxing environment. Doesn't cost you anything. You can get yourself a nice cold beverage and a hot dog and some other grinds. And just lay out here and have a good time.
And when we're not doing live TV, actually, beach volleyball has a constant music going on in the background.
Not together. Well, we're getting music, but it's coming from the relay from Life folks right behind us. go down for more from Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan?
Well, during that last timeout, Pepperdine coaching staff continuing to push their team, saying we have got to continue to put the pressure behind the service line. Again, emphasizing serving the middle of the court. They're also talking to Brittany Howard about her hand positioning on the block, saying she has to be more aggressive, especially against Nikki Taylor.
And the one-hand root by Taylor.
And the one-hand pump block by Taylor. You know, that is definitely a height advantage, because I don't even know if Nikki Taylor truly, oh yeah, she did leave the ground, but she is so tall, and she can stand and actually go over the net.
Set point, match point for Hawaii. Taylor cranks that serve. Quiggle backpedals, bumps it up. Here comes Howard. Howard takes a rip, dug up by Schucht. Bump back to Schucht. Schucht can do it right here, and she does! And Hawaii's flight number 2 defeats Pepperdine 2-0. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll have more from Manoa. All right, let's take a look now at the Mcdonald's match summary, and these are what took place a little bit earlier today. And guess what? The third time was a charm. You see Flight 5, the duel for Hawaii won 21-17, 21-18. Hamayan and Khan won flight number 4, 21-17, 17. Magdalyn Weaver, before this one we just showed you, won a pair against Caputo and Dyer, 21-18, 23-21. And of course, you just saw that Taylor and Schucht had defeated Howard and Quiggle. So Hawaii has won the first 4 here this evening, which means they have claimed the matchup, and they hand Pepperdine only their second loss of the season. But we do have flight number 1 still coming up. Hawaii would like to make it 5-0 over Pepperdine. But we have more down on the sand. It's Ryan and Coach Jeff Hall.
Thanks, Scott. We're here with head coach Jeff. Coach, congratulations, big win. How important and how significant is this win for this team?
Well, it's awesome. I mean, for us, we felt like we were on the bubble. Like, we had lost to Long Beach earlier last week. We hadn't beat a team that was ranked ahead of us all year, so we kind of felt like we were slipping in the national polls, and we didn't want to be in a situation at the end of the year that we're just worried about getting in. That helped us a lot. Obviously, that's not going to guarantee anything, but I think we have a lot better shot to get into the NCAA tournament now.
Specifically this past match with Nikki and Kaiwi. I mean, the two of them looked like they played very well together. Talk about this partnership. We know it's fairly new. They had played a little bit last year, but talk about the evolution of this pair.
Well, at the beginning of the year, we're like, do we keep these guys together? Because that's how they finished last year. And usually we've split kids up, but we said, hey, here's a partnership we like. Let's go with it. Let's try to have more continuity this year with our pairings. So we invested in them. And that's the first time they beat Pepperdine, that matchup. So hats off to them. I'm stoked for Nikki and Kaiwi. They've been really focused. Today was an unbelievable day for them, and now that's their new standard. We hope that that's the way they play always.
What can we expect coming up from the Flight 1 with these two teams going at it?
A battle. You know, anytime you play Pepperdine, they're so well coached. They're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a defensive battle, less, I think, firepower just than what we saw. But they're going to make some great plays. It'll be a really fun match for the crowd here. It'll be great for senior night to kind of wrap it up, and hopefully we can win that one and sweep Pepperdine.
Speaking of senior night, you have a number of seniors. Talk to us about the significance of the seniors in this class and the role that they've played in helping to grow the sport to what it is right now.
Well, you know, the sport's pretty new, so these guys have been around since almost the beginning. You know, second year of the program, they came in, some of these kids. So it's kind of celebrating their commitment to us. You know, people like Taylor Higgins, you know, and Sydney Shin, who've been here for 4 years, are awesome. And they're such great kids, and they're great team people. You know, they're going to be missed. Nikki and Mikayla, obviously, have played a lot more this year, are super special. Again, hard to replace, but they're going to leave a legacy. And I think they've embraced that this year, and it's about teaching these younger kids, this is what you have to do to be successful. You know, I'm going to miss them, but, you know, they're going to start their real life now.
Well, congratulations on that last win, and best of luck in this next flight. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Thanks a lot, Coach Hall, who's obviously very pleased with the results here today. And it's time now for How It Works. It's presented by Central Pacific Bank. Lisa.
So here, Brittany Howard's been blocking Kaiwi Schucht all night long, and all of a sudden a great set by Nikki Taylor, and Kaiwi sees Brittany Howard. She watches, she pulls and drops, and Kaiwi beats her because she sees her drop, and she dink shots her or rolls it down right in front of her. And that is how it works, my friends. Again, Kaiwi Schucht doing a great job seeing the blocker drop off the net and then just dinking it right in front of her.
I'm not sure if Taylor and Schucht can play any better than what we saw in that matchup against Pepperdine tonight.
Well, you know what? I like what Coach Jeff Hall just shared with the viewing audience. He said, this is the new standard. We know now they haven't beat this team all year long. We know now what they're capable of. Let's hope and pray that we can move forward and get our team going into the national championship, and that should be their standard.
And you heard Coach talking the fact that, you know, they played Pepperdine twice before today, came up short, 3-2, 3-2, including last night's loss, and they knew they were getting closer. And now today, they've kind of just exploded. I mean, you look at having won the first 4 duels and now have a chance for the clean sweep of Pepperdine. That would make a pretty big statement, I would think, back on the mainland.
That would make a huge statement. And I think what you have to remember is even though they've already won this duel, these number ones that are coming up in our broadcast here shortly it is all in that pride. You know, if Hawaii wins this and they do that sweep, that 5-0, that is huge in their pocket.
Well, that's what's at stake coming up here in a couple of minutes. It'll be Morgan Martin, the freshman for Hawaii, and Michaela Tucker, the senior, against Delaney Knudsen and Madalyn Rowe. In fact, Hawaii beat this pair yesterday, 21-19 and 21-15. All right, we're talking about what this win could mean for Hawaii. They're ranked 6th in the country, Pepperdine number 2. Let's take a look at the ABCA top 15 poll. There you see USC unbeaten at the very top. They haven't lost in a couple of years, I think. Followed by Pepperdine, UCLA, Florida State, Long Beach State, and Hawaii. And closing out the top 10, LSU, Arizona, Stetson, and Georgia State. But you look at Long Beach State, that's going to be Hawaii's number 1 nemesis when it comes to the Big West Conference tournament. Long Beach State has already beaten Hawaii this year.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember that in the NCAA tournament, 8 teams go down. And Hawaii, I do think this is a huge win for them. They know they're peaking, if you will, at the end of the season. You got to remember the playoffs are that first weekend in May, the NCAA championships, May 5th through 7th, I believe it is. And you want to see them do well, but it looks to me like they're on their way to those playoffs.
And there you see the final 5 of the top 15 poll. South Carolina, Grand Canyon, Florida International, Florida Atlantic, and there you see Arizona State checking in at 15 at 7 and 10 on the year. But you look at USC at the top of the standings, and last year they won the national championship. They really, really are a strong program. I don't know if anybody could beat them.
Well, you know, you just never know. I mean, you got to figure out a way to beat them, number 1. Their number 1 team, Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes. I'm not sure if anybody will beat those 2, but the others are very beatable. You got to also remember that USC runs a sand program only. They don't go between indoor and out, as well as Pepperdine. These Pepperdine beach players are year-round beach players. Hawaii, not so much.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Jeff about that, and he said he's hopeful that maybe not maybe next year, but the year after, that the sand job would become a full-time position. Of course, he works with the indoor program, and now you have Robin Amo Santos as the head coach. In fact, she pulled Noreen Yosia from the beach team to work more on indoor because they're practicing right now. So I think eventually you'll probably see something similar at Manoa. And you would think, when it comes to beach volleyball, I mean, Hawaii and beach volleyball go hand in hand.
Well, I can't agree with you more. I mean, this program is only going to grow and get better. And really, it just has to be, I think, a separation, because it's very hard to share your athletes in year-round. You don't know, you know, training is obviously a little bit different. Seasons are a little bit different. But the truth of the matter is the coaches want their athletes to be their athletes for that year and do the conditioning. Indoor is different than beach.
It definitely is, even though they're both volleyball. All righty, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll have more here from Manoa as we get ready for flight number 1.
Friday, right
Back at the beach courts on the UH Manoa campus, the Clarence TC Ching Complex, where Hawaii's taking on the Waves of Pepperdine. Hawaii's won the first 4 matches, hoping to make it a clean sweep over the Waves tonight. But down on the sand, Ryan Clay Suji has a couple of special seniors.
That's right, Scott. At the end of the matches, the seniors will be honored. We have 2 of the 4 seniors here with us on the sand. We're going to start off with a familiar face, Taylor Higgins. You played here on the sand for 2 years. What has this been like to kind of be a dual sport athlete, so to speak, playing indoor and outdoor and here in the sand?
Yeah, it's been like a really great experience. There's different different vibes, different environments to the 2 of them, but it's really good to experience both. I've gotten to learn a lot about both.
And what's next for you after this? This is your last senior night. No more senior nights after this for you.
I have 1 more year of eligibility, actually. So
okay.
You might not have seen the last of me. I'm just kidding.
1 more senior night possibly for Taylor Higgins. We're going to move over to Sid here. And talk to you. You've been here for 4 years. What has this experience been like for you?
It's been awesome. I mean, we came in together and we were playing on our old courts. There was 1 court, and now see the program evolve. After 4 years, we have all of these awesome courts, great facilities, and it's just been a fun ride.
And talk to us a little bit about the importance of the entire team component, because we know that there's only 5 teams that can compete, but there's a lot of you that are constantly pushing these teams during practice.
Definitely.
Talk to us about that experience and you kind of fitting into that role and helping your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a big part of my role this year and just the past 4 years has been to push them and motivate them in practice, and if I see that they're down or they're bumming out about something, I just try and lift their spirits. And I think all of us as a whole have really grasped that. And even though we're not playing in the 1 through 5 spots, we're always supporting and pushing everyone to get better. And it's paying off. I mean, we just beat Pepperdine, so it's been good.
Well, Shin, Taylor Higgins, thank you so much. Congratulations. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, good job there, Ryan. A couple of the seniors that'll be honored at the conclusion of flight number 1, which should be coming up momentarily for Hawaii. It's the freshman Morgan Martin and the senior Michaela Tucker versus Delaney Knudsen, a senior, as well as sophomore Madalyn Rowe. For the Hawaii pair, what's the key tonight?
Well, for Hawaii, you know what? It's to keep strong, just to stay strong. They've struggled against this team earlier in the season, but you know what? They are very complimentary. I like this team a lot. They push each other. They've done a nice job. Excuse me. They've beat this team. I had that backwards. And so I think really that's that 3rd game syndrome again. I think Pepperdine might have a little bit of advantage in trying not to get, with the 5-0 loss. Pepperdine's team, trust me, will be cheering these 2 on.
There you see you back at Zuma Beach on the 29th. They won in 3, and then last night, Martin and Tucker won in 2 over Knudsen and Rowe. In fact, this pair for Hawaii on March 27th was named the Big West Conference Pair of the Week. So they've been playing very good volleyball, and we're underway as Martin bumps it up for Tucker, who goes cross-court and gets it to fall.
And Michaela Tucker is another player just like Kaiwi Schucht, who does a nice job moving the ball around. Cut shots, high line, cross courts, a great defender.
Overpass and hammering it down is the outstanding freshman Morgan Martin, 6'1", out of Mission Viejo, California. Her partner Michaela Tucker, a senior out of Placerville, California, listed at 5'8". But we've talked a lot about Martin in the past. She's a first-team high school All-American a year ago and generally considered the #1 recruit in the country.
And she's very, very deceptive, but she's trained at a high level, training with USA Volleyball, and had a lot of international experience as well. This is a great defense, the one-arm dig by Mikayla, holding her ground defensively. She really holds and waits until the hitter attacks and reads the ball well.
Madalyn Rowe will serve, 5'11" sophomore out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Martin over to Tucker. Tucker off the block, diving dig by Knudsen, freed over. Here come the Wahine, second contact, put down by Martin.
And what you're going to see again, the over on 2, Michaela Tucker will dig the ball, but she'll try to set that second ball because Martin is considered the bigger of the 2, and she'll try to play the ball over more on 2.
Martin's father played volleyball at UCLA, also played on the AVP Tour. Bumps at left side. Whoa. Dug up momentarily. giving chase. Unable to get to it is Martin.
And Maddie Rowe, a 5'11" sophomore, was an all-WC freshman last year, also a scholar athlete, very, very athletic.
Yeah, we'll talk more about her family. She's got a really incredibly athletic family. And the cross-court shot is good.
Pepperdine going after Michaela Tucker, serving at her, but she is very explosive. She'll cut, and then all of a sudden she'll hit the ball very aggressively.
Jump serve gets over by Tucker. Knudsen, the hit off the hands by Rowe. Brothers are all football players, and maybe her most well-known brother, Craig, played at the University of Michigan and now plays in the NFL for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's a pretty athletic family, you'd have to say. One girl, 3 boys. She probably had to fight her way through a lot. She's an incredible athlete as well. She's also more the blocker on this team. Even though she's smaller than her partner, she goes up to the net. You'll watch her serve, and then she'll go up to the net and actually be the blocker on this pair.
And one of her brothers actually plays in the Mountain West, plays for Boise State. Here comes Hawaii. Martin, big swing to the left, goes wide.
And actually, you know, that's genetics. Her dad played basketball at Grand Valley State in Michigan. So we gotta give it to the genetics.
Yeah, absolutely. So knotted up at 4 here in the early goings of set number 1. Pepperdine will serve it over. Bumped up over to Martin. Martin goes down the line, one-arm dig, giving chase back near the end line, and getting to it is Rowe, and bumped over. Here comes UH on the second contact. Martin will be root.
And these two teams, again, have seen each other twice before in the last 10 days, so they know each other's tendencies.
So lead change, 5-4. Pepperdine leads. Slaps it over. Martin tries to find the open spot, and she does off the knuckle of Knudsen.
Interesting, changing up the serving to Martin. Martin again taking a little, getting a great set, taking a little thing off of that.
And Martin will serve. That was a big get for Jeff Hall in this beach volleyball program to be able to get somebody the caliber of Morgan Martin. I mean, look at her as a freshman playing with the flight number 1. I'm not sure if there's a freshman in the top 10 of the rankings that is playing flight number 1.
I agree, and she's been holding her own as well. Again, it's that international experience. She's played a lot of volleyball. She played on the AVP with Kelly Reeves, who played at UCLA. She plays with a lot of confidence.
And then look at her partner, Michaela Tucker, who has worked her way up. Last year she played in the 5s, the 4s, she even played in the 3s. And then now this year she's been up at the top flight with Martin. Knudsen over to Rowe, Rowe off the block, and then bumped over, kept alive by Pepperdine. Knudsen will try again, saved by Martin. Bumped back to Martin, Martin dug up. And one-hand save attempt, good effort. But not good enough by Rowe.
And Knudsen, the 5'10" senior, you know, she plays some unbelievable defense. Again, she's just sitting in the hole waiting. She's a scholar athlete as well, first team WCC last year.
It seems like almost every player in beach volleyball is a scholar athlete. And there's going to be an ace by Tucker, who actually played a year of indoor volleyball in Fresno Pacific, a Division II program. And her career high in kills were 11 against Chaminade.
I know, is that amazing? She played indoor and now, you know, got 11 kills at a small little indoor college, and then she gets out here and she just works and works and works, and she finds herself in the #1 position.
No question. So a 2-point lead for the Wahine. Hawaii now serving from our right to left. Bumped up, Rowe with the left hand down the sideline, and it's good. And she kind of shrugs her shoulders, looking at Knudsen and says, whatever works.
You know what that is? It's called bettering the ball. That ball went past her right shoulder, and she's probably had enough of them to figure out, I've got to learn how to hit left-handed. And again, it is so hard to serve and come to the net and block every single time.
Martin's basically going to free it over. Chance for the Waves. Nice dig by Tucker. Bump back to Tucker. Off the tape, and then it ricochets down for the kill. I got to ask you, you look at the two Pepperdine players, they have the visors on. Morgan Martin has a visor on, yet it's, you know, it's nighttime. Is that more of a comfort thing, you think?
I think it is, but I also think that these lights, you have a little bit of a reflection off of them, so I think that takes the light out of their eyes. And players do get comfortable playing. You gotta remember, most of their games are in the daytime. They are not playing nighttime games.
Throw into the net. Now you look at Knudsen, I think she has the sunglasses on as well.
Yeah, and the sunglasses are probably a lighter lens, but what it does is it keeps the sand out of their eyes as well.
Reminds me of that song in the 80s, I Wear Sunglasses at Night. Remember that song?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that song?
No.
Come on, Lisa.
And please do not sing it for us.
No, I won't sing, trust me. I know better than that. Tucker looking for the puka, but pushes it too hard.
If you really watch Michaela Tucker, what she does very well is she always sneaks a peek before she swings at the ball. Morgan will keep her off of the net just enough so that she can see the court.
Delaney Knudsen gets it over. Scrambling is Hawaii. Rowe, big swing cross court, back row down.
And Rowe doing a nice job defensively, passing it up and then swinging hard into that cross corner around the big block of Morgan Martin.
1 point ball game here in the first set. Float serve handled nicely by Hawaii. Here's Martin, takes a bit off of it, gets it to fall. Initially it looked like she was gonna take a big swing and then she slowed up her arm just at the right moment, just popped it where nobody was at. And on the second contact, that is Knudsen paying attention and getting it down. We'll take a break. It's 11-10 Hawaii in set number 1.
Big Island Candies, the perfect place to find the perfect gift. Visit them at their flagship store in Hilo at Ala Moana Center or online at bigislandcandies.com to see their amazing selection, including delicious chocolate-dipped shortbreads.
Some of the football players out here supporting the beach volleyball players. There's Jelani Tavai on the left. Of course, Nick Rolovich and his squad just wrapped up spring practice not too long ago and getting ready for the upcoming season in August. Back here at the Ching Complex, Clarence TC Ching Complex, serving his Pepperdine. Here comes Hawaii. Tucker over to Martin. Martin gets it down. Now this is Hawaii's home court. It's on campus, but they play a lot of matches at Queens Beach as well. Talk a bit about the differences between playing at Queens and playing here.
Well, the sand is completely different. They also have a lot more of a breeze down at Queens. You're just right on the ocean there, so you get a little bit more of a side advantage. Right now we're playing the evening time. Also, you have a lot more spectators coming by, a lot more interruptions, if you will, distractions. Here, not so much. You have the home court advantage. Spectators sitting a little closer, more family oriented. Down there, you have it more, again, people just walking by and seeing it, loud music. And also, you don't really ever know what the score is down there because there's like 5 games going on. There's 5 courts at a time, whereas here, you have 2 courts going on.
And what about where Pepperdine plays Zuma Beach? You said it's real windy, huh?
Zuma Beach is known for its wind, and they train down there and host their matches down there. So I think these conditions, again, at night and playing with different, you're not the sun, the wind, but that's beach volleyball. That's what it's all about. It's going to change wherever you are.
And so whoever can adjust the best usually has the most success, I would imagine.
That's right, and that's where you have to learn how to train in all of those conditions. You can't go, oh, it's too windy. I don't think I'm going to work out today.
Martin takes a big swing cross-court up
And Martin doing a great job. Very explosive on that left side, normally playing on the right, but you notice these players interact and interchange sides very easily.
You know, I think Robin Amos Santos should take a look at Morgan Martin and maybe see if she can convince her to play indoor volleyball as well.
I would be thoroughly surprised if she did. I think she just truly loves the sand game.
There's Rowe with the block. Makes it again a 1-point game. 14-13 Rainbow Wahine.
And Rowe at 5'11", again, the primary blocker for her and her team.
Martin, Tucker back to Martin. Martin takes the hard swing, and they'll say it goes long.
Interesting change at Pepperdine going after Martin, thinking that Rowe lines up with her well in the blocking schemes.
So 14-14, our fourth tie here in the opening set. Hawaii's won flights 2, 3, 4, and 5 already, so they're going for the sweep of Pepperdine, only the second win ever against the Waves, who are always one of the top 2 or 3 programs in the country.
They won the inaugural ABCA championships, and their coach, Nina Matthews, who's just been around the game forever, has really been proud of this team, and 6-year coaching sand volleyball only.
Yeah, she retired from the indoor sport, but she didn't retire from the sport.
Well, I think her real love, again, Nina is an incredible player herself. She helped formulate the WPVA, which was the Women's Professional Volleyball Association, a player herself. I think she just wants to help grow the game.
There's a swing, and gets down off the right arm of Delaney Knudsen. Tied for the 5th time already. Keep in mind, Tucker and Martin won yesterday, 21-19, 21-15 over Knudsen and Rowe, but we've seen kind of the 3rd time's a charm tonight has been kind of the mantra that you've put out there.
That's right, and these teams are very well matched up. So it's almost like a game of chess, if you will. You have to try to start figuring out if somebody's siding out well or putting the ball down well, like Michaela Tucker was earlier. Let's switch it up. Let's start serving Morgan Martin.
Knudsen, Rowe gets it over and down.
And Hawaii has been serving Rowe a lot more often.
Well, we always talk about bigs and smalls being paired, but you look at the duo for Pepperdine, Knudsen listed at 5'10", and Rowe at 5'11". They're almost the same size.
They are, but what you will notice is that Rowe is their primary blocker, and Knudsen is the defender. Whereas on Hawaii's team, it's Michaela Tucker that's the defender, and Morgan Martin is the blocker.
And Martin gets a kill right there for Hawaii. So UH back out in front by a point.
Tucker serving at 17-16.
Tucker, one of the 4 seniors. And after this one's foul, will be honored on the sand. Floats it over high. Pass. Bumped up. Rowe takes a racket off the palms of Martin.
And Rowe saw Martin dropping back. Let's call it a drop block. Martin staying at the net, not seeing a great set. So she pulls, she drops, and just does not control the heat on that ball.
This has been thoroughly entertaining and about as close as it can get here in this first set. What will Martin do? Cross-court diving dig attempt, but unable to pop it up as Knudsen.
And Michaela Tucker doing a great job with her setting. She's given Morgan Martin some great sets, keeping her off the net just enough, scrambling off, not a great pass. Martin getting it inside the blocker's left hand.
So the 2 teams will switch sides now, and the Hawaii serve will have the wind to their back.
And again, Morgan Martin, only a freshman, #1 recruit for beach volleyball. Had the opportunity to play with a gal by the name of Katherine Plummer, who played on the national championship team for at Stanford and was the player of the year. So she's played with some bigs. You know, she's got a lot of experience.
We'll have a timeout called on the sand, and so both teams will go over, take a seat, and listen to their coaches. 18-17, Hawaii leads this one in the flight #1s. Earlier, you saw the flight #2s win for Hawaii, and let's take a look at some highlights. And here you see Madalyn Rowe.
And Maddie Rowe swinging away. Michaela Tucker doing a nice job, but Maddie Rowe getting the better of that one. moving the ball all over the court. Maddie Rowe doing a nice job seeing the court and celebrating the 5'11" sophomore out of Scottsdale, Arizona.
Got a big smile on her face. Why not? What else would you want to do? Then play a little beach volleyball on Saturday night in Hawaii, right?
Well, exactly. I mean, and these conditions are perfect. Again, the lighting may be a little bit different for these players. They're normally playing in the daylight. I don't know how many other teams actually play at night, but Hawaii tends to do evening matches. I prefer the evening. It's a lot cooler.
Yeah, it is for sure. But that's a good point. I think probably most places don't have lights. So that could be a bit of an advantage for Hawaii because they can practice leading up to matches under the lights and get used to it as well. So here comes UH serving. Morgan Martin from left to right, pops it over. Rowe will bump it up over to Knudsen. Takes a good whack at it. A little communication breakdown. Morgan and Mikayla are going the same direction.
That's right, and that sometimes can happen. They actually went. They served the opposite. They served Delaney Knudsen that time. Kept the ball away from Maddie Rowe because she's been fighting out so well. Tried to change it up a little bit.
These two have been back and forth since the very first serve. Martin from the left side, cross court, gets it down. You can tell she just has tremendous vision that she can see where the open spot is, and she places the ball so perfectly.
She really does. And again, that all being made possible by her first contact good, and Michaela Tucker setting her very well.
Here's Rowe. Pushes it. One arm dig save by Martin. Gets over somehow and then freed over. Nice play. Smart play into the back row.
I'm telling you, that young lady, Maddie Rowe, has played some tennis. That's the second time she's done that tonight. I mean, this is an incredible scramble by Hawaii. And then the shoot over. You don't want to wait until the opponents get back up. You want to shoot it back over as quick as you can.
Rowe will serve it wide, and so that gives Hawaii a chance to close it out. It's set point for the Rainbow Wahine. And Martin will serve, has her choice of balls back there. Thinks that's the lucky one. Gets all the sand off of it before she serves. Gets over. Over to Rowe. Rowe out of bounds. So a couple of errors gives Hawaii the opening set over the Waves by the score of 21-19. Welcome back with set number 2 after this. And welcome back to the lovely beach volleyball courts here on the Manoa campus. Let's go down to Ryan Clay Susie. Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Well, both coaching staffs working hard to continue to encourage their teams. The bench, as you can see in front of me, really making a lot of noise, trying to really motivate their teammates for the Waves. Now, for the Pepperdine coaching staff, one of the things they want to see their team do is adjust on the blocking. They're saying they're going to wait a little longer and delay on the block to sort of swat the ball back, especially on Martin's hits. They're also going to move things around and serve Michaela Tucker a little bit more. For the Hawaii sideline, they are very happy with the way things are going. And the one thing that they are currently trying to do is encourage Martin to keep it going. She's doing an awful lot, serving, running up to the net to block, and also passing and hitting primarily all of Hawaii's attacks. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Set number 2 underway. Hawaii and Pepperdine. You know, Hawaii has already claimed this matchup. They've won the first 4 flights, and so Hawaii picks up their 21st victory of the season. That's the most wins in program history. And get this, Hawaii's also on the verge of making a little history. Pepperdine, since their inception, they've won 61 times 5-0. They've won 5 matches to 0, but they've never been swept. And Hawaii leads 4 sets to none and up 1 set to none here in flight number 1. So it's possible that for the first time ever, Pepperdine could be swept here tonight.
We're talking some history to be made here in Hawaii, possibly.
Still a lot more beach volleyball to be played, no question. And Rowe goes back and serves it over. Tucker over to Martin. Martin off the fingertips and down.
Martin with her 13th kill on the evening so far. Pepperdine came out serving Michaela Tucker, but I think that she's just too frustrating. She just moves the ball around the block so well. So let's see if they keep going back at Martin.
Talk about Tucker. That's one thing Jeff Hall says about her. She's very savvy and has great ball control. She'll frustrate you, and that serve goes wide.
And Hawaii has continually went down that line all night long to Maddie Rowe.
Delaney Knudsen serves it. Martin goes to her left and gets it down.
That's an interesting play. Notice how Michaela Tucker set her right in the middle of the court. She didn't push it out at all. She just set what we would call like a two-set, which really allows the hit to go either way.
Looked over and down. Nice job on second contact by Knudsen. Realizing there wasn't anything she really could do with that ball, and so she just poked it over and got it to fall down for a point. So 4-3 as they switch sides. Waves with the lead. There you see over the outstretched arms of Morgan Martin. Hawaii won the first set, 21-19. And what was about as close a set as you could have until the final 2 points on errors by Pepperdine.
Yes, and Pepperdine, these two teams again have met twice in the last 10 days. Hawaii coming out on top those 2 times. Pepperdine down has basically lost this match so far.
Yeah, well, they're done. They've lost the duel. It's just a matter whether or not Hawaii will sweep them. Martin off the block, falls in the back. But that's pretty amazing. That Pepperdine has never lost a duel match. 5-0.
And again, Pepperdine, one of those schools that has a sand team only. Really, you know, they train year-round. They've got an incredible, very detailed coaching staff with years of experience between them.
Bumped up near the net. Hit into the back row. One-arm dig attempt and saved by Tucker. Rowe. Knudsen. Cross court. Let's make that Rowe that hits it for the point.
And you got to give Michaela Tucker some great credit on that defense, scrambling with the one-arm dig, and then she retrieves, she gets up, and she gets a great set. Just can't put it away.
Martin to her right, easy. That was too easy.
They sure make it look easy, don't they?
I'm just so impressed with Morgan Martin. We saw her against Nebraska, now against Pepperdine. And to think that last year she was in high school. you
right?
know?
Exactly.
And playing at this high level. And there's a nice one by Rowe who just keeps on doing. So smart the way she plays, isn't it?
Very smart. And Knudsen giving her some great sets. You know, her setting is very, very consistent. Hawaii keeping the ball on Maddie Rowe.
Rowe reminds me of how Schucht played in that first match we had for UH.
That's right, real savvy, just all over the court.
Serve goes along, that knots it up at 6.
And she's only a sophomore. Maddie Rowe's only a sophomore as well. It's not like she's got years behind her out here on the collegiate sand beach.
Rowe, nice shot.
And that's probably why she won the AAU National Sand Championship last summer in Hermosa Beach. Pepperdine going after Martin. Let's see if they keep it on her. Martin sighting out really well.
That serve goes wide. Martin dove and then tried to pull herself back, make sure the ball didn't clip her as it went out of bounds.
Second crossover, 7-0.
Well, second crossover, teams will switch sides, tied at 7. This second set is almost reminiscent of the first set between these two and how it's been back and forth.
It is, and you know what's interesting? The team that has the momentum when they switch sides, they get back there. Michaela Tucker's back there waiting with the ball, like, hurry up, you guys, let's go. But when you switch sides, you can take a little bit of time.
Knudsen over to Rowe. Rowe dug up, bumped up, back over to Tucker. Tucker tries to find the back row. It's saved. There's a swing by Rowe. Here comes Martin. Pokies it over off the hands in the back of Knudsen.
And Martin, knowing she got a little bit, I wouldn't say lucky, the set was not great. And again, bettering the ball, poking it deep, able to transition on that play.
So the freshman out of Mission Viejo, California, serves it on the line. Knudsen over to Rowe. Rowe, go too far, but a touch called. We'll get a touch called on Hawaii.
And Martin admits to it. She doesn't fight it. She knew immediately that she had gotten a touch there.
We're tied at 8, and it's our 8th tie. How's that? There you go. Good look right there by our camera. Martin over to Tucker. Tucker finds the back. Just inside the end line, the end tape.
And Tucker has a little bit of a hang time there. She kind of draws the blocker in and she waits and then she drops her elbow. Very, very hard to defend. And again, I think a little bit of over blocking on her.
What do you mean by over blocking?
Well, I think that Maddie Rowe is blocking almost every ball, and I think that she might want to pull or drop back and let Michaela Tucker swing. They've got to figure out a way because Hawaii is siding out extremely well.
Serve gets over. They'll bump it over to Rowe. Rowe cross court knocks it down.
Michaela Tucker right there. Great channel blocking by Morgan Martin. What I mean about channel blocking is that she's taking the line away and trying to channel the ball into her defender.
Good serve. Tucker. Hopped around, scrambled. Here comes UH. Martin over to Tucker. Tucker cross court. And Pepperdine was trying to do the same thing there, but unable to dig it up in the back row was Knudsen.
Very explosive. Michaela Tucker having a good night, swinging away, slicing, dicing, serving incredibly difficult. She's going to go for that deep left side of Maddie Rowe now. She's kept the ball on her all night.
Rowe cross court, but there's the dig. And then on the second contact, Martin flips it over. Back over. Now Knudsen will take a swing, and she goes right down the middle of the court.
Back to the reason Morgan Martin had to hit that ball over. On her block, she actually touched that first ball. And after you do that, on the beach, you have to hit it over on 2. You cannot play 3 after the block like indoor.
Martin up over to Tucker. Tucker off the one-arm dig attempt of Knudsen. And out of bounds. Timeout here on the sand in Manoa, Hawaii. Pepperdine, UH up by 1. All right, let's check out the first Hawaiian Bank top 3 single-season pair wins. And you see Maglio and Weaver with 23, Homayan and Khan with 23, and Ginger Long and Allie Longo from a couple of years back with 20. So look at that, 2 of the current pairs tied.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Number one, that they've stayed together that many matches, and that they have that many wins.
That attack goes long by Rowe. And this might be the largest lead of the night, and it is largest lead of the second set, and it's only a 2-point advantage.
And it's a whole 2 points.
Right. Feels like about 10 right now, the way these two have gone.
Yeah, there's been 10 ties so far.
So Morgan Martin gets that one over. It's going to be shanked a bit, staying alive by Pepperdine. They'll try to free it over. They do. Chance for Hawaii, and a one-arm dig over pass. Nice job in the back row by Knudsen. Push to the right and down by Tucker. Smart play by Mikayla.
Really smart play by Michaela Tucker, taking a look at the court. Again, she sneaks a peek. She realizes she has a blocker, and she is so well. She's got a lot of tools in her tool chest right now.
3-point Hawaii lead now. Keep in mind, Hawaii won the first set, 21-19, but there's Rowe again. Stop the 3-0 run by Hawaii.
And Knudsen calling late when she set her no one, because Morgan Martin decided to pull back. such a big part of this game is that communication with your partner, calling no one, high line, mine, yours, in, out.
Martin bumps it over to Tucker. Tucker cuts it across, gets it to fall in the sand.
So again, if you watch these players after they set the ball and then watch their lips, they will always give a call.
Tucker, the senior out of Placerville, California, serves it over. Rowe, dug up by Tucker. Martin back to Tucker, runs, pokes it to the left. Off the net, played nicely by Pepperdine, then hitting it into the twine as Knudsen, but you gotta take your hat off. That's great defense by Pepperdine. Good job of just trying to get it up and give themselves a chance.
Pepperdine playing some scrambling defense, and their coach encouraging them on, saying that's a great place. Hang in there, girls. They're playing balls out of the net when the ball goes into the net, and that is really a difficult skill.
Tucker over to Martin. Where will she go? Down the line, yes.
And what you're noticing is Morgan Martin continues to pull off of the net now. She's drop blocking is what you would call it. Whereas Pepperdine is not drop blocking. They're staying up and blocking, and they're really struggling defensively to pull up those balls.
And you look up at the scoreboard now, all of a sudden Hawaii with a 5-point lead forces Pepperdine to call a timeout. So 16-11 UH in what was a nip and tuck second set up until 11 basically.
That's right, and interestingly enough, when these teams call their timeouts, again, they have to call their own timeouts. The coaching staff cannot call it for them, and this is the only time the coaching staff can truly coach and or on side changes when they're switching. But they keep their sides of the court, so even though they're on opposite sides, I find it very interesting that they continue to go back to their little spot on the opposite side of the court.
Now, if you were coaching right now, what would you be saying if you were Jeff Hall?
Well, if I was Jeff Hall, I'd say let's keep the pressure on. You guys are doing a great job. It starts from the service line. It starts from that first contact. I don't think there's much more than he can say to these guys because they've made the adjustments. You see, Morgan Martin is blocking and then drop blocking. If it's 2 feet off, she's drop blocking on Maddie Rowe, and they're playing some great defense.
What about on the Pepperdine side?
Pepperdine, they've got just the unforced errors. They're making too many errors right now. And I would, if I was their coach, I would have Maddie Rowe not block so much. I would really have her drop off and help Delaney Knudsen on the defense.
Okay. So even though this is senior night, there will be 2 more matches against St. Mary's on the 14th and 15th of April. I think that second is at Queens on the 15th because there's softball here. I don't think you want to have a beach volleyball match going on while there's a softball game because the balls do come over here.
They do it. They're a little too close.
The teams break the huddles, back out on the sand. And Hawaii will serve Michaela Tucker. Goes cross court with the serve. Rowe takes a big swing and gets it down.
And Rowe again swinging into that deep middle, recognizing that Morgan Martin is dropped back. It's a smart play.
And all sides will switch once more. You know, it's been a pretty calm evening. The wind has not played a real factor in this one. So when they switch, you don't see one side favoring the other, you know, giving one side more of an advantage if they're on the Mountain side or the on the Mackay side.
Right, there's not a huge side advantage tonight, and there's the wind, the sun, the rain. Nothing is truly a huge side advantage right now, but it's the rule of the game. You have to switch every 7 points.
And there's an ace for Pepperdine. They're looking for the sweep of the waves. They won the first 4 flights here today. And finished their second win ever against Pepperdine. There's a shake of the receive by Tucker, another point. And now it's only a 2-point lead for Hawaii, which will force the Rainbow Wahine to call a timeout.
And you gotta like that Michaela Tucker immediately recognized, you know what, 2 points in a row is too many. And we're late in the game already. Let's slow this down, let's regroup, and break the quick 2 points that Maddie Rowe just made.
Coaches talking to their respective teams and giving them some encouragement and maybe making some adjustments as well. And Hawaii side trying to will themselves to a win right here and then start the senior celebration, right? Which is a little bit different than the indoor variety where that can go on and on and on. Senior for beach is, senior night, it's relatively quick.
It's quick and it's simple and it's very gracious. They recognize their athletes, they celebrate them. But really the fan base and culture has not grown in beach volleyball like it has on the indoor game. So it's not quite gotten there, but trust me, it will.
Taylor Higgins, Nikki Taylor, Michaela Tucker, and Sydney Shin. The 4 seniors. They're all hoping that there's a lot more volleyball left to be played. You have matches against St. Mary's, the Big West Conference tournament, of course, and then hopefully they return back to Gulf Shores in Alabama for the NCAA tournament.
Beautiful venue, and they've been there many times before.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that on TV last year, and I was surprised by how nice it was over there. It was really nice.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and everyone I spoke with loved it.
So a 4-0 run now by Pepperdine, and they find themselves down by only 1 point. 15 serving 16. Maddie Rowe out of Arizona will serve. Martin over to Tucker. Tucker gets it into the back row. Nice dig over pass. Here comes Hawaii. Martin down the left side, but it goes wide. And all of a sudden, Pepperdine has tied it up when it looked like Hawaii was going to start pulling away and win this one. All of a sudden, it's 16 all.
Well, what you're seeing is some incredible defense by Pepperdine, but it all starts with that serve. Maddie Rowe really putting pressure. They've switched it up. They're not serving Morgan Martin anymore. They're going after Michaela Tucker.
Waves on a 5-0 run now. Hawaii's got to get a point right here. Tucker jumps up, goes for the back row, it goes in. The line judge said yes, it hit the tape. And Hawaii ends the 5-0 run by Pepperdine. A much-needed point for the women.
And the line referee in green took his time on that one, wanting to make sure that that did bounce the line, and it did.
There's a bad receive, and there's another point for Hawaii. A rare mistake by Maddie Rowe.
It's a nice deep floater by Morgan Martin. And again, Hawaii just keeping the ball on Maddie Rowe all night long.
Martin readies herself, tosses it up, slaps it over. Rowe to Knudsen, back to Rowe, big swing and gets it down. And the sides will switch once more, 18-17 Hawaii. Won the first set, that'd be UH 21-19.
And both of these teams, long weekend. They were here all day yesterday. Cal Poly involved in playing here in this matchups. And they have been here long and fought hard.
Knudsen serves it over. Martin over to Tucker, blocked. Kept it alive, bumped up over to Martin. Martin saved by Knudsen. Knudsen takes a big swing and she splits the defenders.
And that's exactly it. Splits the defenders. When in doubt, swing deep middle or down that middle pipe. Very difficult to defend that, especially when you don't have that blocker.
And there's the block. Blocked by Rowe. A little apprehensive with the attack, and Rowe rejects it.
That's right, and really, truly, the momentum has switched to the Pepperdine side. Hawaii's struggling a lot of unforced errors right now, that all they really need is a true first pass.
And that's not going to be it. And taking advantage on the overpass is Rowe. And now Pepperdine a point away from forcing a third and deciding game.
Interestingly enough, I'll share again, is that they've been going after Morgan Martin this whole second game, but now they've went back. Oh, now they went back to Morgan Martin.
And there's an overset and getting it, off the hands of Tucker, and Pepperdine comes from behind to take the second set by the score of 21-18. So we're knotted up at a set apiece. We'll go to a third, and the third, of course, is played to 15, and you got to win by 2. And the way this match has been going, I have no clue who would have the advantage. They seem pretty even.
Well, they really are. And when you go to that third match, you play, like you said, Scott, to 15. You also switch on multiplications of 5. So if there were wind elements and things like that, sometimes that side advantage can be huge in the third game. But these lights in this environment is unbelievable. Pepperdine just really snuck back into that game, I think, with their serving.
You know, we talked about the fact that Pepperdine, throughout their program's history, they've never been swept, ever. Do you think the coach, Nina Mathis, has brought that up or mentioned it to the girls at all? Or do you think she's even aware of it?
I don't think Nina is that type of coach. I think that's undue pressure on these players, and I think she's just going for the win. She's been there 6 years. She's trained the players. I know she knows what her record is, but I don't think she's thinking about history in the making or if she's been swept or not in the past.
That's good for fodder on television, though, isn't it? I mean, those are kind of cool stats. All right, so we come down to a deciding third set. Hawaii already knows they've won the matchup with Pepperdine, but they don't want to lose, obviously, and particularly Morgan Martin and Michaela Tucker. What do they need to do to get back and get going here in the third?
Well, they've got to, you know, I think they let their foot off the gas just a little bit. They had that great separation. I think they have to start strong. They got to get back to that tough serving. They were serving Maddie Rowe to her left and backing her up. And then really unforced errors. You have to keep those balls in. They both know it. They shook their heads. They hit a few balls out, and they allowed, or they let Pepperdine back in.
Yeah, I think they lost their concentration is what happened more than anything. All right, let's go down on the sand with Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan.
Well, Jeff Hall talking to his players, specifically to Michaela Tucker, about her platform and her passing. That's one of the areas that sort of broke down for this Hawaii team in the latter parts of set number 2. Jeff Hall telling Michaela Tucker to keep her platform out earlier and create the angle in which they can pass inside out in a more efficient manner. Another thing, they have to do a better job communicating on the middle attack. Now, in beach volleyball, the cross-court player receiving primarily will take the middle of the court, and oftentimes players will communicate who's going to be taking the seam. Jeff Hall wants his players to do a better job of communicating, especially on that seam serve. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Your thoughts on what Jeff was saying to the players?
Well, I can't agree with him more. Just to refocus, get the platform out early, communicate a little earlier on serve receive. Pepperdine did mix it up in the end there. I found myself saying they were going after Morgan Martin and then they went after Michaela Tucker. They mixed it up, so they kind of got in Hawaii's head.
We'll see what happens here in the third. The Bows took the first, 21-19. The Waves the second, 21-18. And set number 3 is underway. And getting on the board first on the kill by Knudsen is Pepperdine. You got like the enthusiasm of the Pepperdine players. They're over there across the way. They're making all kind of noise, having a good time, even though they've lost to Hawaii here tonight.
They're a great team, very supportive of their teammates. They've been doing the wave over there, literally, for the Pepperdine Waves.
Well, the attack goes long, and there's a 2-0 Pepperdine advantage.
And you can just feel the energy on Hawaii's side of the court. Like, you know, they're a little frustrated. They've got to continue to work to the next play and let that last play go.
Keep in mind, Martin and Tucker have beaten this duel twice this year. Once in California, and then yesterday as well.
And here we go again, back and forth. Just like game 1 and 2.
So Morgan Martin, freshman, to serve. Bumped up to Rowe. Rowe off the block, kept alive by Martin. Here comes Hawaii's chance. Pepperdine again to Rowe. Rowe pushes it down the left side before Tucker can get there.
And Rowe really having to take a lot of swings tonight, doing a nice job.
Pepperdine lead. 20th kill for Rowe. She's earned all 20 of those, no question.
She has. She's been served almost every single ball.
Tucker with the hard hit off the block, save. Turn around and put down off the palms of Martin by Maple Road.
And that's exactly that block. It was a nice soft block, but you have to hit it over on 2. That's why he set that dig. It's very different than indoors.
So They'll switch now at 5, like you mentioned earlier, because it's the third set. Hawaii down 4-1.
Hawaii needs their teammates to stand up and start cheering as loud as get a little.
Yeah, they were pretty amped earlier.
Yeah.
Second contact attack by Martin. Poked over. Nice save. Poked over again, Martin. And there's Knudsen. Knudsen will swing, and she gets the point. What a great effort by Delaney Knudsen, keeping that rally alive and then eventually getting the point for her team.
Yeah, and you know what? She's just a great defender. She sits in the hole and she just grovels for balls. And then she gets up and has to transition ball, meaning she has to attack it after she digs.
All right, that was pretty awesome. Let's take a look at it again. In fact, you know what? Why don't we make that our Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the evening?
Well, it's a great defense by Delaney Knudsen again. Martin swinging over. Just a scramble play on both sides of the net. And here we go with a great set. And again, right down the middle of the court.
That was really cool. Well, I know one thing. All these players that participated the last 2 days will sleep very well tonight. I mean, the work they're putting on the sand and being out here all day, started off in the sunlight, now under the moonlight, and it's almost a full moon. It's almost right above us.
I think this has to be one of the longest venues. What's happening here is that you only have 2 courts that they compete on. So when you have to play 5 matches and dual matches, you start with everybody's got to play 2 out of 3.
Would you call that a full moon, Lisa?
It is really close. I think tomorrow night it's going to be completely full. You see the ring around it?
No, I don't.
How about the man in the moon?
So Pepperdine out to a 5-1 lead here in the third set. Martin will bump it up high for Tucker. Tucker takes a bit off of it. Onto the right side and down.
And there go the teammates there. I heard them that time. They got the cowbells and they're yelling, megaphones.
Yeah, they've had those cowbells all night long. Here comes Rowe. Big swing. Backpedaling was Martin. She was waiting for it. Just couldn't react in time.
You know, she's dropping and the Waves are doing a great job again, swinging right down that middle. They call it the husband-wife zone. You know, it's just right down the middle. It's very difficult to defend.
Tucker, diving save by Knudsen. Tucker, not a great bump set, but she finds a way to angle it to her left and down. Nice recovery and a good job by Michaela Tucker.
Michaela Tucker getting back in the zone again, refocused, seeing the court off of a 1 step, and that's a little pokey. She came off of 1 foot, literally bettering the ball with a pokey cut shot.
Rowe pushes it with the right hand and down.
And there's another little pokey.
And that's almost impossible to stop. It's such a difficult play. Now at the 10 point, we will switch sides again. 7-3 Pepperdine leads.
Morgan Martin going up and blocking. You know, she's blocked a few times and then she's went back to blocking. Can be very frustrating. She's making the right decisions. It's just that Pepperdine is seeing where she's at.
Think about it. That second set, Hawaii was up, I believe, 16-11. And you thought, okay, Hawaii's going to close it out. Pepperdine didn't give up. Hawaii made some mental mistakes. And here we are in the third set. Pepperdine leads, but it's not as large after that kill by Tucker. Excuse me, by Martin.
And that's a great play by Morgan Martin. Michaela Tucker passing, feeling like maybe a little picked on, but she knows that she can just set it up to Morgan Martin, who has snuck a peek and hits it deep into the corner.
You can't switch, you can't share points now. You can't give points like that on the service area when you're playing the 15. That was not a good serve at all.
I don't think she took her time back there. She kind of rushed it. Get the momentum on your side. You want to speed things up, but you still have to take your time at the service line.
There's Martin cross court, yes.
Martin passing perfect that time, spot on. Michaela Tucker giving her a great set, and she just slices it inside the big, huge hands.
Hawaii needs a little run right here. They need to score a couple of points in a row at least. Don't want to trade with the Waves. They have the advantage. Knudsen off the hands, kept it alive. Martin will bump it over. Knudsen over to Rowe. And Rowe is just so good at that.
And again, setting each other in the middle. That's a very difficult ball to defend. Hawaii needs to continue to communicate and take care of their first contact, that first ball.
There's a smart play by Knudsen. Hawaii's backpedaling, expecting somebody to take a swing at it. She just bumps it over where nobody's at.
That's one of the things about when you commit block and you start up there where Morgan Martin is starting at the net. She's there and she sees her sneak over, takes that first step to her left. So she puts it over on two. Again, those little simple plays can really change, be momentum changers. Critical that Hawaii just, you know, dials in right now and does not let this lead get any bigger. They say in the last game to 15, the first team that gets to 10 has a huge advantage mentally.
Yeah, I would think so as well. A lot of it has to do with Rowe, who serves it over. Martin to Tucker. Tucker dug up by Rowe. Saved by Tucker for Hawaii. Tucker will get a chance, goes cross court, but there's Knudsen. Hustling his Rowe. It's going to be an overpass. It's a block. Then bumped over by Hawaii. Rowe will keep it alive. Rowe with the left hand flips it over. Here comes Martin. Martin with the big swing and the kill.
And that's a great rally by both sides. Really playing some awesome defense. You can hear the communication from up here. Martin just drilling that ball down.
Tucker from the far left side, flat-footed, floats it. Rowe off the hands of the block of Martin. You know, one thing about Rowe, she's got to be pretty tough. She worked with 3 football-playing brothers, including one that's in the NFL. So, can you imagine being outnumbered 3-1?
And you know what? They're probably watching this, and she's thinking, you know what? I gotta take care of business here.
Can you imagine if you wanted to ask her out, and you'd have to go ask the brothers maybe first? That'd be a little intimidating. There's a kill.
That's a great thing.
So Hawaii making a little noise here. Still down by 4 though.
Closing the gap one at a time. Critical that they serve tough yet efficient.
Rowe to her left.
And you know, Knudsen just giving her some nectar sets. We say it's nectar when it's sweet, when it's nice, you know, the analogy there. But she's been setting Rowe very well tonight.
And the Waves are inching closer to not coming away empty-handed tonight as that serve goes long. Hawaii winning flights 5-4, 3-2 already. So they're up 4 matches to none. They've already won the duel, handing Pepperdine their 2nd loss of the year. Their only other loss was to USC earlier in the season.
That's right. Pepperdine has really been on a run. They're 17-1 coming in, just playing some phenomenal volleyball. But you know what? It just goes to show you the growth of the game. And because these 2 teams met twice in these last 10 days, both teams making adjustments, especially Hawaii.
I just find it unusual you play a team 3 times in 10 days.
Well, I can't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot.
It is a lot. Well, one thing he's got to do is boost your RPI if you're Hawaii, because you're playing the number 2 ranked team 3 times in 10 days. And the 2 losses Hawaii had were close ones, 3-2. They finally broke out tonight. Martin waits and then gets it off the block and eventually falls to the sand.
Well, Coach Jeff Hall said, we're on the brink of something. I know we're right there. We're right at the cusp. If we can just make some adjustments. And you know what? They did. In those lower flights, they made a lot of adjustments.
Nine serving 13. Knudsen bumps it up. Rowe. Big swing. Gets it down in the back. Just inside the back tape. And it is match point for Pepperdine. Gotta give the Waves a lot of credit. They were down big in that second set. Fought back. Won it. Forced a third. And now they're almost there. Martin chases. Tucker doesn't want it to end, and she gets it down in front of the diving Knudsen.
Tucker with a critical point, critical side out for her team. Again, struggling a little bit with that first contact, but Martin just doing a nice job giving her partner a good set.
Rowe pokies it. It gets down, and that's it. As Knudsen and Rowe come back and win in 3 over Hawaii as they take the 5th set, win it 2-1, and Pepperdine avoids getting shut out. So they still have never lost a duel 5 matches to none. You see the coaches hugging it out and shaking hands. But a very, very successful evening for the Rainbow Wahine. Time now for the players of the match, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii.
And for Hawaii, Kaiwi Schucht doing a phenomenal job tonight. She just played unbelievable. Look at those kills, digs, and aces. And for the Pepperdine Waves, we have Maddie Rowe. She played phenomenal as well. 29 kills. She saw every serve tonight and had a phenomenal evening.
Well deserved for both of those players, our Bank of Hawaii players of the match. So Hawaii now will get ready to begin the senior celebration. The 4 seniors will be honored momentarily. Taylor Higgins, Nikki Taylor, Michaela Tucker, and Sydney Shin. But talk about this win by Hawaii over Pepperdine, one that has been working on it, and they finally got it.
Well, this is just a huge win. You know, you got to give credit to the entire team, not just the 5 teams that played here this evening, but the whole team has trained so hard. And you know what you want to do is you want to peak when you're coming into the end of the season. So kudos to Jeff Hall and his staff for just working hard. And these kids went on the road and played hard. You know, had a few losses, which I think, or they lost to Long Beach State, and I think that actually helps you. And they lost to Pepperdine on the mainland. That when you see the big picture, they come back, they work harder, and they realize what they have to get better at, and that's what they've done.
Do you think this is an at-large team if they don't win the Big West Conference tournament?
Absolutely. There's no way this team, in my mind, cannot be an at-large team going into an 8-team NCAA tournament.
So time will tell, of course, as we head down towards the finals of the regular season. Next week they'll have a pair against St. Mary's, and then it's postseason after that.
Yep, they go up to Pismo Beach to play in the Big West Championship match. And, you know, they're going to see, again, Cal Poly played, you know, they lost a lot of matches here, but never underestimate when you go somewhere else and you play in the wind and just different elements. I think that the Big West Championship is going to be a really good outing for them.
All right, let's get the senior celebration started. We now go over to the public address announcer, Mike Machado.
At this time, we would like to start our senior ceremony. But before we honor our 4 seniors, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Pepperdine seniors. How about a round of applause for Tiffany Morales, Brittany Howard, Katie Workman, Sarah Seibert, and Delaney Knudsen. And now it's time to honor the University of Hawaii senior class of 2017. As a freshman in 2014, these four ladies were part of the first ever UH squad to compete in the AVCAA Nationals. 3 years later, they're recognized as a group that set the foundation for UH as a national title contender. Our first senior joined the team in 2014 before taking a 2-year hiatus to concentrate on her indoor career. This season, she returned to beach volleyball for one last go-around. As a freshman, she played a vital role in the team's 20-win season. She went 18-6 overall, including an 11-2 mark in dual matches while playing at the number 4 and 5 flights. Though she has yet to play this season, she's made a welcome return to the team with her senior leadership and infectious personality. She'll graduate this fall with a degree in finance. Let's give it up for the senior from Honolulu, Taylor Higgins. Our next senior is, simply put, one of the most accomplished volleyball players ever at UH. On top of being an indoor All-American, she has twice been named an AVCAA Beach All-American as a freshman. She advanced to the quarterfinals of the AVCAA Pairs National Championship with Katy Spieler. This season, she surpassed Spieler to become the school's all-time leader in dual match wins and is poised to join Spieler as the only Rainbow Wahine with 100 overall career wins. She set another school mark earlier this season when she and partner Schucht won 12 straight matches to start the year. Next month, she will graduate with a degree in communicology. Let's show your aloha for the senior from Honolulu, number 14, Nikki Taylor.
Never mind, we're going down the line. It's still a hug.
Our third senior has evolved from a freshman walk-on to become one of the most successful players in program history. She's been a key contributor on 4 straight squads, including last year's title run when she was named to the NCAA All-Tournament team. An All-Big West performer, she has continued to compete at a high level after being elevated to the number 1 flight as a senior. She'll lead the program ranked in the top 3 all-time in UH in dual match and overall wins. She'll also graduate this spring with a degree in kinesiology. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show your aloha for the senior from Placerville, California, number 10, Michaela Tucker. And our final senior is one of the true leaders of this year's squad. Her playing career is highlighted by a runner-up finish in the 2014 Rainbow Wahine Spring Challenge silver bracket. Injuries have since limited her to just 9 all-time contests, but it hasn't limited her impact on the team. She served as a guiding light for her teammates in good times and bad, with an unrelenting positive attitude. This May, she'll graduate with a degree in communications. Put your hands together for the senior from Wellington, Florida, number 23, Sydney Shin.
Okay. And there you see, Lisa, the 4 seniors being honored. All of them have contributed in their very own way.
Well, each and every one of them, you know, they've all contributed, and they've had the opportunity to play in this beautiful facility. You heard them earlier talking about how they started on the other side and they only had 1 court. It has been just such a privilege to see all of these young ladies just share their aloha and work as a team. They've really done the sport well.
Well, senior night, a success for Hawaii here at the beach courts at the Clarence T.C. Ching Complex as Hawaii defeats number 2 Pepperdine 4 matches to 1. We'll take a break. We'll come back, have some final thoughts, and wrap things up from Madalyn. Highlights Hawaii Pepperdine. We start with flight number 2. Ka'iwi Schucht for the Rainbow Wahine was tremendous in the Rainbows win over Pepperdine 2-0. You see the cut shot. There's another kill by Schucht. She was outstanding. In flight number 1, leading the way for Pepperdine was Maddie Rose. They beat Hawaii in 3. Rowe could do it at the net, from the back row, from the front row as she puts down the kill. But right now for Hawaii, they look back at flight number 3. Here was the point that captured it for the Rainbow Wahine as Maglio and Weaver win it in flight number 3 to clinch the win in the duel for the University of Hawaii over Pepperdine. Only the second time ever that Hawaii has beaten the Waves, and there you see Megs with the put down and the kill. They celebrate it as Hawaii goes on and wins it overall over Pepperdine, 4 matches to 1. All right, Lisa, we mentioned one more upcoming weekend of volleyball against St. Mary's next Friday here. No, next Thursday it's at the beach, and next Friday, I'm getting it all confused.
That's right. We know that they're playing St. Mary's
on the 14th and 15th against St. Mary's. Thursday it will be here, and on Friday it will be down at Queens Beach. Then Hawaii will try to repeat as Big West Conference champions. They'll be on the mainland April 28th, 29th, and then keep our fingers crossed, but more than likely they'll once again make a return trip to the NCAAs.
Well, you know, this is a short and fast season. Beach volleyball goes within like 8 weeks, and they play a lot of games in that time, long days. But I see a bright future for this team. They're doing great things, and they're so excited tonight. Not only that they just beat the #2 team in the nation, but it's senior night, and it's an incredible venue.
You know, I think a lot of times people focus on the top 2 flights, but you look at Hawaii and the success they've had this year. They've won 21 matches now, which is a team high, a season high, is what they do in the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s.
Well, we don't get the opportunity to broadcast those matches to you folks at home, but those truly are the games that matter almost the most.
Sure.
Because we know it's the best team that wins the first 3 or 4 matches, and it's over. And Hawaii did that really well tonight.
You know, your mantra all night long was the third time would be the charm.
Yes.
The third time was the charm for Hawaii as they finally beat Pepperdine. They played them now 3 times in 10 days, and they can say, we've beaten the Waves.
Yep, they got their number, and you know what? There is nothing greater than that. When you go down a couple times and you come back and you figure out how to win, that is like, there is no sweeter success.
Thank you for your expertise, Lisa.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it, and that'll do it for us here tonight from the Clarence T.C. Ching Complex at the beach volleyball courts. We remind you to take your sporting passion to the next level online at OC Sports or at OC Sports Enhanced. Be a fan, and mahalo for supporting the University of Hawaii sports. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Special thanks to our outstanding OC Sports crew. For Ryan, for Lisa, I'm Scott. Until next time, we bid you aloha and a good evening from Manoa.